All right, BradCooney.com is absolutely honored to have in from The Voice Season 10, Alison Porter. Alison, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, things are pretty exciting for you. I saw your audition. Millions of people saw it. It was very, very just mind-blowing. So talk about the experience so far. How's it going for you out there?
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun and just everything I could have imagined and more, really.
You know, when you started that song, of course, I'm 50 years old, so that's my era. I love that song. I was shocked. I mean, your vocal range. Did you think you were actually going to pull that off as good as you did?
I had hoped so. I mean, I've always loved that song, and to be honest, right before Audition, and I was kind of choosing songs, it sort of just popped up out of nowhere, and I thought, that's an interesting choice. And then I started singing it, and it really just felt like the right song for me. And the more I sang it, and the more comfortable I got, I was like, okay, I think this is going to be, really a good choice. And I'm really happy with the result. I'm so glad I chose that song.
Let me ask you this. So when you decided on singing Blue Bayou, of course, how much time elapsed between the point you decided on the song and the blind audition?
I think it was confirmed only about a week before.
So you had about a week.
Not that long.
No, that's not long at all. So you had about a week to prepare for it.
Yeah, it's not a long process at all. From knowing your song and figuring out what you're going to wear and figuring out how you're going to do it and then doing it. It happens pretty fast.
All right, so I'm not sure if you're aware of this or not, but I just checked the numbers, and the video that your blind audition has 4,700,000 views already.
That's insane. It's just crazy. It's just really, really, really crazy. The only thing I can say is that I just feel this is happening at the right time, and all the stars are aligned, and I'm just so thrilled that I'm getting this opportunity. It's really more than I could have ever expected.
Well, you deserve it. It's a real blessing. Okay, so after you finished your blind audition, one of my favorite parts of the whole show is when Adam Levine walked up to you and he kissed your hand, he gave you a hug, and then Christina Aguilera came up and she was sitting down in front of you. And what was going through your mind when all this was happening? These are legends that are walking up to you like that.
Honestly, I was kind of blacked out. I remember the week after going what happened? I would ask my mom what did I do? What did I say? What happened? I don't remember. And really, a lot of the contestants had the same experience where we literally didn't remember what happened at all because it's so surreal. Mm-hmm. It was amazing.
What was going through your mind, if you remember? Like seconds before you walked out on the stage, and that's got to be a pretty scary situation to be standing up there looking at the back of chairs into the dark. I mean, what was going through your mind right before you walked out?
Honestly, I just was worried that my kids were going to start crying, and or wanting me, or my daughter was going to start crying and yelling for me. So I was praying the whole time that my kids would be cool.
That's funny.
They were. So that was a great distraction. And then also, I've said this before, I just got this really amazing calm that came over me right before. I was like a lunatic a week before, but right before I walked on stage, something kind of just planted and grounded, and I felt really good and calm, and I was really grateful for that because I was so nervous for, like I said, every day leading up to it was just more and more of a build up and more nerves.
What about the night before? How did you sleep the night before?
I literally did not. It was one of those nights where you just lay there with your eyes closed and keep asking your body to please shut off
Wow.
And it just doesn't happen. You don't sleep the night before. We didn't sleep the night after. It was crazy.
Yeah, I can imagine. All right, so you got 4 chair turns, which is also pretty darn impressive. Everybody turned around. You picked the legendary Christina Aguilera, one of my all-time favorite singers. She's just one of my all-time favorites. What was it about her? Because all of them are just legendary in their own rights. What was it about her that separated her from the rest that made you go with her?
Well, you said, I mean, I've always been an enormous fan of hers, and, you know, vocally I've learned, like, so much from her. We have a similar range where, you know, we're not the same kind of vocalist, but in a way we're very similar, and, you know, with choices and songs and, you know, just certain things that I really connect to her when it comes to just her as a vocalist. And then aside from her being, like, the best singer in the world, you know, there's the fact that she's a mom and she's, you know, learned how to balance a career and motherhood. And, you know, that's my biggest fear coming into this was, you know, taking a step away from being a stay-at-home mom and becoming a working mom. So who better to kind of guide me on that journey than her?
Yeah, and I thought she gave you a really good pitch when she talked about, you know, making the comparison about her being a mom also. Previous to...
she did. I mean, she was amazing.
Previous to her making that pitch, was there any point where you were thinking about Adam at any time?
You know, to be honest, I couldn't believe how enthusiastic Adam was. I didn't expect that. I kind of expected Blake to be more enthusiastic just because the song I chose has kind of a country, you know, flair. But to me, I was kind of always hoping for Pharrell. I mean, going into the blind, he was the person that I thought for sure I was going to choose just because he's such a spiritual person, and I feel like every time he talks, you learn, like, a life lesson, and I just think he's such an awesome guy. And I really was looking forward to working with him, but the second Christina and I connected, there was just something there. It was, like, kind of otherworldly and different than anything I had thought. You know, I wasn't sure if she was going to be this kind of untouchable superstar that I couldn't connect with, and I could have been more wrong. So there was really no competition once that happened.
Yeah, great pick. And you really can't go wrong with any of them, but I agree with you. I think she's a perfect fit for you. All right, so what was... okay, well, anyway, can you share anything with the fans out there that Christina's taught you? Is there anything in particular that she's really taught you about singing?
You know, one thing is that she's really helped me to understand that the most important thing, other than, you know, hitting high notes and doing great runs, is connecting with the audience and opening my eyes and finding somebody that, you know, I can connect with, or really telling a story. And I think that's such a huge thing, you know, with a competition like this where you're singing for America's votes eventually. You know, hopefully I get that far. And I think, like, learning the real true meaning of performance and how to connect is so valuable for me right now. So she's been really amazing with that.
Great. I have one fan question. I took a question off of social networks. I had a fan that wanted me to ask you a question. And her name is Dara, and she wants to know if you do make it to the live final, the finale, would you consider doing a duet with Adam Lambert?
That would be so beyond a dream come true. I couldn't even begin to tell you what that would mean. I mean, Adam and I, you know, our friendship is deep and loving, and so, I mean, I spoke to him today. I've spoken to him pretty much every day since this journey started, and I was there for him when he did Idol. He's been, you know, such an integral part of my life, let alone, you know, my career. You know, I mean, he is my brother, and I'm so proud of him and everything he's done in his career, and I know he feels the same about what's happening with me today, now. So, yes, to answer your question, I would love to do that.
All right.
It would be a dream come true.
So hopefully the powers that be at The Voice will hear that answer. That'd be great. He's a great...
I know. I might cry the whole time now. But you know
Oh, yes. Yeah, that'd be great. That would be awesome. The talent level on this season, of course, last year Jordan Smith won. He's just phenomenal. And then previous to that, Sawyer Fredericks, another just amazing talent. This season, this season's loaded, man. I mean, I've seen so much talent already. We only got the second night of the blinds behind us, and the talent is just amazing. So, can you talk about how it's been to just be alongside such depths of talent?
Honestly, it makes me emotional just to think about it. I'm such a huge fan of so many of these incredible people, and we're all. I don't know if every season has been like this, or if there's something special about our season, but we are so close. We are such a family. We love each other so much. I would happily lose to so many of the contestants. I mean, I know Paxton already, he already performed, and Kata, who was my roommate and is like my soul sister, who I just think is so phenomenal. There's just so many, so many incredibly gifted and talented people, and some that you haven't even seen yet that are mind-blowing. I mean, it's scary how good these people are. So I'm in such incredible company, and not only are they insanely talented, they're beautiful people, and I love all of them.
Great stuff. Yeah, I got Paxton coming on board the podcast tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to talking to him. He's another one. He's the best. Yeah, his audition was amazing. Amazing.
He's a special person. I adore him.
Okay, last thing I got for you, because I know you're busy. If you could share some advice, if there's somebody out there listening that's thinking about trying out and getting on to The Voice, what's some advice you can share with them?
I would just say no matter what outlet you're using for, your passion and your singing, to know that you deserve it and to just give it your all. There is no time like the present, and it's such a gift to be able to have a talent, and to not use it is a crime. And The Voice is such an incredible platform for somebody who doesn't think that it's going to happen for them, because it really is kind of instant stardom. I mean, it's just been an incredible journey for me, and I would just say do it. Just get out there, go, and just do it. Make it happen.
Great stuff. Okay, so before I let you go, if you would share with the fans where they can follow you on Twitter, where they can follow you on all your social networks.
Okay, I am Alison Porter, at Alison Porter on Twitter, ALISAN Porter, and on Instagram I am _Alison Porter.
All right, well, I really appreciate you coming on board. We look forward to getting you back as we get further along in the show. Is that good?